Hello and welcome to the Miles Irvin Show. I'm your host, Miles, and the NBA is slowly but surely coming back. Preseason basketball is here. We have had a bunch of games over the last few days, and let's get to talking about some of them. It's been super exciting to have some basketball back, even though it's just the preseason, but we're still able to get a glimpse of some of the NBA stars as they return to action. We've had a ton of fun matchups. Um, First, let's get started with a game that just finished on my end, and that was the Spurs versus the Thunder as the two rookie phenoms, Victor Wembanyama and Chet Holmgren, faced off for the first time, and the Thunder pulled out the victory 122 to 121. With their reserves, with it being the preseason, all the reserves getting the minutes at the end of the game. But the two headlines of this matchup with the two rookies definitely did not disappoint. They were unbelievable and so impressive in their minutes. There you see Victor Wembanyama had 20 points, 5 boards in just 19 minutes of action, was very efficient. Chet Holmgren, 21 points, 9 rebounds, 7 of 10 from the field in just 16 minutes. I mean, they were really impressive. And I kind of want to just focus on the Spurs for a second because, my goodness, their system, and we all know Greg Popovich, one of the best coaches, if not the best coach of NBA history, but their system looks as beautiful as it was back in the day when they had their dynasty, man. You know, they're they looked very fun offensively. I think a big reason of that is them starting Zach Collins at the five. He's a terrific connector, terrific passer. He's definitely a Greg Popovich type player, with a guy that could just really pass the ball at the center position and get guys going. There were a ton of backdoor cuts. I mean, the Spurs, their ball movement was amazing. Like, there were not many possessions, like, in the half court where, like, less than 5 guys touched the ball, or less than 5 passes were made on the possession. Like, the ball was fizzing around the perimeter and inside. I know there was one play, I don't remember who it was. It might have been Collins and Vassell, where, like, they made, like, 6 passes back and forth to each other to get inside. I don't think they ended up scoring, but I was just like, oh my goodness, this offense is beautiful. And they're not going to do anything crazy in the regular season. And yes, I know it is only the preseason. I should make that clear. This is only the preseason, so there's nothing to like read too much into it. The preseason, that it's not a good idea to really do that. But just to have basketball back, I'm super excited. So the Spurs, their offense just looks so beautiful, and the Thunder, they looked very good as well. Chet Holmgren and Victor Wembanyama, I was impressed with how aggressive they were going to the basket. Like, Chet specifically, he got himself to the free throw line a lot just from driving to the basket. And defensively, Victor Wembanyama, the one play where Jalen Williams crossed him up and then drove to the basket, I thought for sure that Victor Wembanyama got like turned around or something. I thought for sure that Jalen Williams had an easy layup on that position, but Wembanyama got back, recovered, and blocked the shot. I mean, even when you think you have him beat, his size and incredible wingspan, it's just like his recovery. He's going to be able to recover on like most defensive plays, even if he messes up, just because of his size. Um, it was a really fun game to watch. It was very entertaining. Josh Giddey looked great passing the ball. Um, and that first half, the end of the first half, the Thunder had like 4 straight dunks. That was crazy. There were a ton of like posters. Cason Wallace had a poster in his first action in the NBA, their 10th overall pick. And the score in the first half was 81-74. San Antonio, 155 combined first half points. Both these teams are gonna have to pick it up defensively, uh, if they want to have any success in this regular season. But as far as just entertaining basketball, oh my goodness, that first half was amazing on both ends, and it was a great way to start both of their careers with Wembanyama and Chet Holmgren. So just super fun to watch that game. Next up, let's go. Let's go to Sunday's games, and let's shine the light on, I guess, the two teams that made the biggest moves in the offseason as far as like acquiring a bunch of stars. I mean, I guess this is besides the Milwaukee Bucks, but let's go to the Phoenix Suns as they made their Big Three debut in Detroit against the Pistons with Bradley Beal, Kevin Durant, and Devin Booker all playing for the first time. And, they ended up pulling out the, again, entertaining overtime victory against the Pistons as the Pistons made an incredible comeback late thanks to Marvin Bagley, who was, very impressive offensively. He could have had even more than the 25 points that he scored. He missed a couple easy layups inside. But the Suns' big three, and really their whole team in that first quarter, they looked ridiculous. They missed 3 shots in the first quarter, 46 points. They shot like 85% from the field. Now, obviously, that is not going to, hold for the rest of the season because, for a team, well, just 85% is just ridiculous. They're not going to shoot like that. I mean, it definitely got a little, they got cold throughout the game. But defensively is when they're gonna have their defense carry them through their cold stretches, and they looked pretty good defensively as well. I was really impressed by Josh Okogie. He was very pesky on the defensive end against the Pistons players. But then, like, you look at the offense for the big three individually, it was very well rounded. There you see all 3 of those guys got similar shot attempts, same amount of points, and it seemed very fluid. They all got their chances to score in either isolation or pick and rolls or the mid post. Like, it looked terrific offensively for the Phoenix Suns. And Grayson Allen was good too. He had 18 points. Watanabe was good. Eric Gordon had his moments. So, I mean, this Suns team offensively, I mean, they're not going to, like I said before, they're not going to keep it up to like that crazy extent, but that shows you a glimpse of what they can do, and that's why they are one of the real contenders in the Western Conference, because offensively, I don't know how you stop that team when all their guys are clicking offensively. So, that was super impressive. A game later on in the day that occurred was the 76ers Celtics, and all 4 of the Celtics stars played in this game, which I was kind of surprised with, but Joe Mazzulla played all of them out there in the 114-106 victory against the Sixers. Really, it was Porzingis that really shined for all those guys. Porzingis had 17 points, really just only off of screen actions, whether it was him rolling to the basket or popping out for a jump shot. He was very impressive in his debut, and he fits that team very well defensively, offensively. Jaylen Brown looked pretty good. Drew Holiday struggled offensively. I think he shot only like 2 for 10 from the field, but he showed his moments defensively as well. On the Sixers side of things, Tyrese Maxey looked really good. He really has the chance to make a big jump this year, maybe to be an all-star type player, depending on what happens with James Harden. I mean, Harden's been working out with the Sixers, but it has definitely been reported that he still definitely wants to make his way to the LA Clippers. But, yeah, man, the 76ers and Celtics both looked pretty good. They're star players. Peyton Pritchard, shout out to Peyton Pritchard, went crazy last night against the New York Knicks and on Sunday against the Sixers after signing his 4-year, $30 million extension. So, shout out to Peyton Pritchard. I think that's a pretty good deal for, his role and the way that money is being thrown around at this point. I think that, $7.5 million per year is pretty fair bet for a backup point guard that can really light it up from downtown on some nights. So, I think that that's a good move from Boston to get a backup point guard, to get their backup point guard, locked up long term like that. But yeah, excited to see the Celtics. They're definitely one of the real contenders in the East. I'm I'm really looking forward to whenever the Bucks debut Lillard and Giannis together. That'll be super exciting. It may happen later on this week. I know the Bucks play in Memphis, I believe tonight. So that'd be something to watch out for there. Finally, let's talk about the quickly the Brooklyn Nets as they played the Lakers in Las Vegas last night. The Lakers pull out that win late, but Ben Simmons started for Brooklyn, and he looked pretty good in his minutes. 10 points in 14 minutes, and he was very aggressive taking it to the basket. I know the first play he scored on, he went right at LeBron James and did his terrific righty shot off the glass. Um, that was good to see. Cam Thomas and Austin Reeves were battling it out in the third quarter. Then their coaches took them out of the game because they were lighting it up a little too much. But yeah, Cam Thomas looked really good. Ben Simmons, if he can keep up that type of aggressiveness throughout the season for the Nets, that adds another level to that team offensively when you have a playmaker that can also just drive to the basket and score. Because when he was, really good with the Sixers, his best offense was transition. Like, he was one of the best transition players in the league to take it coast to coast to the basket. So if he could add a whole nother dimension to that Nets offense, but like his passing was terrific, his aggression was terrific. Even he took a mid-range jump shot in the third quarter, he missed it, but like just to see him be willing to take that is amazing, and I hope he can definitely keep that up because that will be huge for the Nets. As far as the Lakers go, the Lakers had 8 players in double figures, and they played all their guys as well. First time we got to see LeBron in the preseason. Anthony Davis, D'Angelo Russell looked good. He was knocking down his shots. Rui Hachimura, Christian Wood were looking good. So, it's just been super exciting to have preseason basketball back and have all these guys returning. It's so exciting, and we're a couple weeks out until the season begins, and it's just gonna be so great when basketball is back. But looking ahead to tonight's games, I had a couple games on my radar. I wanted to touch on it real quickly. So tonight at 7:30, we've got the Cavaliers visiting the Atlanta Hawks as two of the East's best backcourts will face off. Their first appearances this season, so that should be a lot of fun in Atlanta. That will be at 7:30 on League Pass. And then on TNT at 10 p.m., we've got the Nuggets and the Suns, rematch of the second round from last season, as the Suns will make their home debut, potentially with Booker, Durant, and Beal. We'll see who decides to play, but it's also the debut of the 2023 NBA champion Denver Nuggets. So some exciting stuff going on tonight and in the next few days as we're getting back into basketball, and it is super exciting. Stay tuned for more NBA coverage here on the Miles Irvin Show. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a comment with your thoughts on all these games I talked about, anything else that I may have touched on, may have missed. I know the Knicks played last night. They looked pretty good. Jarris Walker for the Pacers played very well as, his first game in the NBA for preseason. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe for more NBA content. I'm Miles. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll catch you in the next one.